us to do this as a group. I want to get healthy so that we can do God's work. Ready?
You're on.
I love this. It's called the upsides of your problems. They have surprising benefits. You know how you go on a job interview and they ask you, what are your negative qualities? I had this down pat, and I go, I'm glad you asked me that question. One of the things that I do is I tend to work too hard. I tend to take my job too seriously. I tend to come early and stay late, and I know that sometimes can be a problem. But there's something to be said for that. That was my standard answer. Boom. Oh, my faults. I work too hard. But that is one of the things is if you want a job done, you call me, man. I will work my butt off. I will be there. I will do it. I want to take that same qualities and use it towards losing weight. And I have, and I've worked on it. I thought it was interesting, some of the negative qualities. Anger. Like, I always get upset when I get angry. And, I can get angry, and all of a sudden these words are coming out. And if people in the Prairie Red Off group heard it, they'd go, whoa, that's Ellen? Oh, my gosh, that's terrible. But what it is do something productive with the anger. Instead of eating, go for a walk, get on that bike, or try to do something positive. If you're angry about something that happened in the world, how do you think Mothers Against Drunk Driving started? They were mad. Or loneliness. One of the things about people who are lonely is they've learned how to do different things, whatever, and they can have a good relationship with themselves. Even this one, the upsides of anxiety, where I love this one because I always thought of my anxiety as being such a terrible quality. And what this said was, you're so tuned into life and you care about things so much that's why you're anxious. Remember I talked about my fear of being a Stepford person? I don't want to go, oh, really, that's nice. Oh, that's sweet. Oh, I'm sorry. That's terrible. I don't want to be like that. I want to be real. And I once said to someone, I'm so afraid if I don't care about that I won't be who I am. And she said to me, Ellen, I think you could take at least 100 things and not care about it and still be a caring and loving person. You don't have to be that way about every single thing. That's what we have to do. We have to really pick our battles a little bit more. Now, here's one that I think the group should really talk about, the upside of depression and pessimism. They're very good at predicting and overcoming obstacles. I found that fascinating. They're so pessimistic and depressed most of the time, but when there's an obstacle, they're the ones to go to. So if you look at yourself and say, I can't lose weight because I'm too busy, or I can't prioritize, or I have issues with saying no to food, then you take a look at your life and say, but I'm really good at taking care of my kids, or I'm really good at work, and see what qualities you can do. I always say that people don't lose weight because they go into these states of denial. I'll think about that tomorrow. I'll do that tomorrow. I want to eat this now. And it's okay if the state of denial is temporary, but when you go into a decade-long state of denial, or a month-long, or even I didn't go to Peel this week and come in the next week and gain 5 pounds state of denial, it doesn't mean you have to be miserable to lose weight. You can still eat. One person, she's losing 1 pound a week, 1 pound a week. And I said, well, you're eating really well. And she goes, that's the key. I'm eating well. I'm eating fruits, vegetables, proteins. Another person was at the same plateau for a while. And she said, Ellen, you've said to me constantly, too many carbs, too many carbs. For a month now, she said fruits, vegetables, protein, no carbs, 2 pounds off, 2 pounds off. You got to mix it up. Okay, there's one thing on Yom Kippur. I loved it. It was in the newspaper. I went online. I printed it out. I want you to read it because true atonement and forgiveness is when we implement change. Oh my gosh, when I read that, it's not only forgiving other people, it's forgiving yourself for all your diet failures, all the times you tried in the past and failed and said, you know what, that was then, this is now. And this is interesting too. He says, we need to search where the damage is in ourselves. And now we can either search in the past like we talked about before, or we can say, you know what, I don't want to talk about my childhood anymore. I'm 56 years old. I'm going to eat less and move more and ask God to help me. This is a very, very interesting article. One of the things about that I like it is they say this, the saying, he says the saying in here, whoever saves one life is as if they saved the whole world. And we think our lives aren't big because we're not famous like Britney Spears or somebody on TV. But we do a lot in our own little worlds. We do a lot for the people we meet and the people we talk to. And how do you know that you don't say something that changes the direction of someone's life in such a favorable manner? We need to live our lives each day like we're here to make a difference, because that is why God created us, to make a difference. Okay, and then I want to talk about recumbent bikes, because let me tell you something. If I get something, let's say I get a new pair of shoes, my mother will look at it and say, does May, my sister, does May have a pair of shoes like that? Because May would love a pair. Whatever May gets, I wonder if Ellen would like a. She thinks that if one of us has something that's really great, the other one should. It must be hereditary, because I have a recumbent bike, and I think you all should have one. Let me tell you, it's got a seat, and we have a phrase in our family. We call it a big A seat. Well, this has a big A seat, and you sit in it, and you feel like, wow, this is comfortable, and all of a sudden you're riding away, and you go faster and faster, and your back's got support, and I'm sitting there going, this is the greatest thing. And here Dan, who won his award, discovered it, and he's biking away, and he goes, this is the greatest thing. It is a cardio workout. When you strengthen, people said to me, Ellen, you might not have lost weight, but you look like you're toning. I am. I'm toning. I can get on it in the middle of the night. I can say, Bob's sleeping. I'm going to ride my bike. I don't have to make an appointment. I don't have to dress up. I don't have to see anybody. It's there. If you can't get one for yourself, if you have a gym membership, they're everywhere. It is the best thing I've ever had in my entire life. I want to marry it and have children with it. Okay. Now, also, those of you who eat boring food every day, Harvest oatmeal, look at this. Chopped walnuts, butternut squash, Wegmans apple cider, dried cranberries, and oatmeal. A bowl is 330 calories. You really should be having at least that for breakfast, the first meal of the day. And it hardly has any sodium. I want someone to make this and invite me for breakfast. Could you do that? Because I will be there. I don't have to be at work till 9. How about 7:30? Who's going to do it? Okay, raise your hand. No, really. Doesn't it sound good? Doesn't it? Who wants to try that? I do. All right. I want to also mention that I have the Syracuse Catholic Women's Conference. Not only do I have the information, I have the schedule of events and the sign-up. Now, right now it's $55, but if you do it at the door, it's $65.